Dave Sada, baby. This is for Rock Radio UK and Blues Radio UK. And today I am speaking to the one and only Adam Norsworthy. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Dave. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been what, a year or so since we last spoke.
Mm,
So
yeah,
you've been keeping yourself busy.
it has been a busy year. We've been writing for the new Milkmen album, which we've recorded now, and we're sort of working on. And as I wrote a book, as
Yeah.
you know, and and also working on my solo album, which is coming out next week or in 10 days or so, and Milkfest, working on organising that in March. So yeah, it's been crazy busy, but I like that. I like being productive and I don't like sitting around twiddling my thumbs. There's always something to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the solo album. This is what, your sixth solo album?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So Shadow on the Hill. Tell me all about it, sir.
Well, I hadn't made a solo album for a couple of years, and I just had the songs brewing. I mean, you've always got loads and loads of songs,
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds knocking around. It's about which songs work together to make a cohesive theme and work together as a record. And I suppose I was feeling very reflective about a lot of stuff, stuff that's going on in the world at the moment, and I I I felt that these songs really worked together and created a very, very kind of affecting narrative
Mm.
as you go through the record about the disintegration of a relationship, and and then projecting that into the outside world. It felt very appropriate in the way that relationships are breaking down everywhere.
Mm.
Some which have been very deeply held and cherished relationships are being ripped apart by things that are going on all around us. So although it's a very, very personal record,
Yeah.
I think it works on two levels, very deliberately so.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to sound more I wanted it to be very honest and stark uh, and to musically have reflect lyric what's happening lyrically. So there's a couple of instrumentals on there as well to sort of set
Yeah.
the scene and close the scene, and I hope it works. I hope it comes together as a really sort of affecting record for people.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a one genre kind of album either. You seem to touch on various blues, a bit of country, things like that. It, it's an all-encompassing album in a very
It is, and
go on.
yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, I've never, as a solo artist, I've never sort of stuck to one genre, because I like, but at the same time, you don't want things to jar too much. You don't want to
No.
put a heavy metal track next to a sort of, a some ragtime or something. Oh, well, Queen would, for having said that,
Well,
but
yes,
you know what I
quite
mean.
probably yes.
Um, but no, it's important that it hangs together as a musically, as well as thematically, and so it's perhaps a softer record than some I've made, um, and perhaps less kind of muscular record than some I've made, because it's a vulnerable, there has to be some vulnerability. In the music as well, and then as long as you can incorporate different styles uh, in, into that kind of emotion,
Yeah.
um as long as it's just not too black and white and too stark, and
Mm.
people don't go, wow, what's going on now, and I think it works.
It does. I mean, I love the album. I've been listening to for a few days now. I
Thank you.
suppose Telephone Silence is probably my favorite song.
Well, telephone silence, yeah, that's, well, you don't tend to get telephone silence anymore because of mobile phones and the way people interact. But you
Mm.
may remember the days when you were on the
Yeah.
phone to somebody and you'd run out and you were having an argument or you were reaching an emotional crescendo of a discussion, and you know, suddenly you're both on the other end of the phone and you're not saying anything for ages, but
Yeah.
you are just, but there's so much going on in your head,
Yeah.
you know, there's so much going on in your head. And that's really what that song is about. The fact that, you know, your imagination at that point is just in overdrive because you don't know what the other person's thinking. You don't know what to say next. You don't know how to build those bridges. You don't know where
Mm,
the plaster is going to come from that's going to fix the issues that you're having. And you literally reached an impasse with your words, but your mind and your imagination are absolutely going mad. And that's exactly what that song is about.
yeah. Yeah. I remember those days only too well. Um, I suppose Shadow on the Hill as a title track as well is another fantastic song. Just tell me a little bit about that one.
Well, Shadow on the Hill is really the fact that we, you know, the people we leave behind us, whether by our design or by theirs, they follow us around like a shadow
Mm,
for you know, for many years sometimes, and and it's in that the shadow of them is inescapable. And also, you know, Shadow on the Hill, it had the double meaning Capitol Hill, you know, the
mm,
shadow that is now looming over Capitol Hill, and
yeah,
in America. I'm half American, and I deeply um, uh, concerned and feel very emotionally involved in what's happening over there. I have relatives over there. I spoke to some this morning, and and I don't want to take any sides. I don't want to, you know, everybody has their reasons for doing what they're doing,
yeah,
but I know how I feel. And this is really a record that is not meant to be red or blue, but it is meant to be a record that, um, whether you are red or blue, you can listen to it and feel the disconnect in relationships around you and in your own relationships.
yeah. It has become quite prevalent, the polar opposites in politics around the world, not just America. It's
Yeah.
that kind of shadow
Well, it's
over
the po
everything at the moment.
It is. It is. That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly
Mm,
where the metaphor comes from. The polarization of everyone's politics and opinions on things. And it's not just on politics. It's you know, there's a humane and humanity element here,
yeah,
which I think is being um uh overlooked. And
yeah.
it's deeply worrying.
Okay, so let's talk about the release date. When the album is out in about 10 days' time.
Yeah, it's out on the 23rd, which is I don't even know what the day is today. Oh, that's next week. No, it's out next week.
Next week.
It's
Okay,
out on
right.
Friday. That's how busy I've been. I've no idea. 23rd is on us next week. Yeah, so it's yeah, it's out next week, and people can get it. They can get a signed copy from my website, which is adamnorsworthy.co.uk, or it'll be out everywhere digitally,
Okay,
as you know, on all the usual platforms from the 23rd as well. So, yeah.
brilliant. Um, let's move on to another couple of subjects. You wrote a book. How mad are you?
I did. Yeah. Well, I've always loved writing. You know, I've always loved writing, and I've actually written a few books over
Mm,
the years, but I haven't published them. Because I enjoy the process. You know, I
yeah,
enjoy just stringing words together and creating stories or images and things. And I suppose it kind of the springboard from it was Milkfest last year, which was such a sort of lovely, successful day,
mm,
that it felt like the kind of natural conclusion to decades and decades and decades of playing live and being involved with live music. You know, it just it and I thought, you know, I, I thought, wouldn't it be fun to write a book about 12 shows I've done or been to that then had a sort of a profound effect on the next stage of my life.
mm,
So hence it's called Stage by Stage, a life in 12 gigs. And of course, once you start writing and it's something you know so well, like and something you're so passionate about, like music and gigging and live music and all that kind of stuff, it just kind of snowballed, and I found myself writing and writing, couldn't stop writing, and then it became a little bit more than that because I felt I had to fill in a few gaps,
Hmm.
and I mean, it reads like something like an autobiography, which is ridiculous, that someone as unknown as me would write an autobiography, but it's a love letter really to live music and to
Yeah.
playing live, and one of the lovely reactions to it has been, and I what I wanted to do is I wanted to evoke those memories and that passion for music we all had when we were a kid. And a lot of people have got in touch who've read it and said that's exactly what they felt. In fact, someone did it yesterday, and that's really really lovely. And so although the book is about me, it's really for all of us, and I want people to read it and read the Live Aid chapter, like someone did yesterday and went, "Oh my God, that's exactly how I felt when I was watching Live Aid," that kind of thing,
Yeah.
or when I first saw Dr. Feelgood. Um, and then, alongside that are a couple of shows that I've done that had an
Yeah.
effect on me, and why they had an effect. And so as a format, it kind of worked, and it and yeah, people have been very, very, very kind about what they've read, which has been really, really lovely and gratifying.
Yeah. I believe it came out in November last year as hardback.
That's right. It came out in November, yeah, and people can get it from Amazon. It's available on Amazon now, and if you like live music and grassroots live music, and if
Mm.
you were a music obsessive like I am, I think you may enjoy it. If I can blow my own trumpet for a second.
Yeah, you certainly can. I mean, by all means. I mean, I do write myself just reviews and stuff like that, but I've never got the courage to write a full-blown book. I mean, that's thousands upon thousands of
Well, I think
words.
it's I think it's discipline as much as anything.
Mm,
I think if you start writing a book, the trick to finishing it is really just disciplining yourself.
mm.
I mean, you're an eloquent man. You can clearly write as well, and I've no doubt you have a book or two inside you. So if you can get away from your four radio stations and get off your farm, get in
Yeah, all
front of
right.
your word processor.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah.
But I mean, you do have to have a structure and a format. I didn't really start this one in any kind of with any serious kind of application or earnestness until I had that format. Until I
Mm,
thought, actually, yes, 12 shows, and then it became much much easier
yeah,
because you
yeah,
have you can focus in each time.
yeah. I can understand that. Yeah, but it's just, you're right. Focus and me being a little bit lazy. Maybe one day.
Yeah, you see, lazy's not something I ever get accused of.
Yeah, I can tell because now we'll move on to Milkfest as well because yet another one of your projects.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, and Milkfest came about when the band had the opportunity last year to play at the Indigo at the O2,
mm,
and we felt, um, wouldn't it be great if we could take a whole day and have a celebration of British blues? And then we had the idea to do it for charity as well, and then it just snowballed.
mm,
And I took on all the heavy lifting and the organization of it all, and um and it just was a wonderful day. It just came together brilliantly. We had an incredible crew who, we did a few things differently to other festivals. So we give every band the same stage time.
right.
So every band gets 45 minutes, an album's
Mm,
worth of stage time.
yeah.
Whether you're the opener, which is always us, the hosts,
Mm,
and going right up to the headliners, who this year will be Chris Difford from Squeeze.
okay.
But we've also got the Climax Blues Band. We've got loads of award winners. We've got Alice Armstrong. We've got Els Bailey. We've got Brave Rival, Mississippi McDonald, Errol Linton, and then we've got Hamish Stewart and Robbie McIntosh from Average White Band, Pretenders,
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr. I mean, just fantastic guys who are going to do the afternoon acoustic set as it is, and we want a variety of blues because we all know it's a broad church. It isn't just
Yeah.
woke up this morning, found my dog dead kind of thing. Blues is so many things to so many
Yeah.
people now, and we want to showcase that. And if we can do that all for a good cause, last year we did it for the brain tumor charity, which was great. This year we're doing it for Dementia UK.
Yeah.
Again, another cause which is you know uh, needs much more attention
Yeah.
and funding than it's getting. Um, and we're just hoping for another wonderful day. It's on March the 1st at the Indigo at the O2, and you can get tickets now for from all the usual retailers. And the tickets are very reasonably priced, considering you get more than eight acts, because we have special guests as well, some we're not
Yeah.
announcing. And it's a wonderful venue. And the nice thing is, we have special dispensation for Milkfest for the punters to come and go from the Indigo all day long. So they're not
Okay.
stuck there. So if they want to go and get some lunch, if they want to go do some shopping, if they want to go and do the cable car, they can go out for however long they want and they can come back. And that's not something the O2 does for anyone else but us, which is really great because it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Because eight acts, it runs from two till 10. That's 8 hours. That's a long time to stay
A
in
long
one
old
venue.
time. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So what about the Milkmen? What's happening with them?
Well, we've actually got our first show of the year tonight. And we're really looking forward to it. But we've been really working hard on the new album, which is our seventh album. We released a live album live at Milkfest last year, which was
Yeah.
which was a great success. And we it was time to write some songs and do another record, and we're really excited about this one. I mean, all our records have sounded a little bit different, very deliberately so. We don't
Hmm.
want to completely repeat ourselves each time, and so we're making a rock and roll record,
Okay.
which I'm not talking kind of 50s rock and roll, but I mean kind of more kind of Stonesy type of
Yeah.
70s, loose and kind of lively.
Yeah.
And we've got some exciting things planned for the artwork and for the singles and all of that. And we've been playing some of the songs live for a while already, and they've been really popular. So we we're looking forward to unleashing it on people because we think they're going to like it. And
Excellent.
that'll be out in May, I think.
Right. Okay. Only a
We
few
haven't
months to go.
we haven't Yeah, we haven't absolutely settled on a release date yet. We've got to sort the whole sort of when you release an album, even at the level the Milkmen are at, which is just we're well known on our scene, but we're not
Yeah.
not internationally famous, not even nationally famous, but even the level we're at, making a record and putting in place all the PR and the promo and the plugging and everything. It's a massive undertaking, and it's not
Yeah.
it's not cheap. You find yourself having to uh clear the decks, as it were,
Mm.
and give yourself a sort of run at it because there's so much to do, so much involved. And of course the other thing these days is that being a musician is so much more than just playing music. You have to be so social media savvy. You have to be
Yes.
all over social media, and that takes time,
Yeah.
and it takes in creativity to do it well. And so you spend half your time on bloody social media, and not so much time playing guitar anymore.
Yeah. I've seen it. There's some bands sort of like they come to a point and they have to take a break from it all, take a hiatus because it's always constant. It's a recording, it's a writing, it's a playing the gigs, it's the social media and the social media and the social media and just being constantly going at it all the time. It does burn you out
Yeah.
a little bit. So,
Yeah, it does. There's no question. It's exhausting, and it's also I think the social media element also brings some anxiety
mm,
that might not have been there before because you end up crunching the social media numbers,
yeah,
and whether you want to or not, how many people have seen this post? This isn't going to enough people. We need to boost it. How much do we spend? Why aren't people seeing this? Why is this algorithm not working?
yeah,
We shouldn't be posting that. That's not it. That's not kind of the sort of thing we should be posting. You know what I mean? These are
yeah,
all questions you never would have asked yourself
mm,
2030. When I first came into the business, it's unrecognizable to the
mm,
industry I came into when I first started playing at 16. And it's or playing I started playing professionally when I was 15. But it's just changed completely. And the only thing consistent is the love of the game, as it were.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to maintain that passion and that love of what you're doing, because there are just so many kind of side swipes now that, you know, all the venues closing, the cost of
Mm,
everything, the traveling distances, the amount of social media you have to do, the pressure on, you know, everyone commenting on your music. You know, you post a song now. You used
yeah.
to be able to put a song out there and you didn't know whether people liked it or not. They just turn up to the show or they wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you put a song out there and, you know, everybody has an opinion, you know,
Mm,
and and if you're not made of stern stuff, you know, that can have, and I know there is people I know, you know, on the scene who've been very, very hurt and
yeah.
affected by um you know, the fact that everybody's a keyboard warrior when they hear something,
Yeah. I
you
mean, the
know.
song is very personal to the writer and to the band. Then to hear
Yeah.
just one or two people say, the wrong things, just say something because they
Yeah.
are a keyboard warrior. It is quite
Yeah.
cutting.
And those are the ones you remember, of course, as well.
Yes.
You know, you get loads of lovely people say lots of lovely things, and you kind of you try and be humble, and you kind of
Yeah.
take it, you know, take it all with a pinch of salt, and then but then of course, as soon as somebody slags you off, it follows you around all day long like a bad smell.
Yeah.
Why did they say that? That's not right. You know, all that kind of thing.
Okay. We'll touch on one other thing. I think the Alford Blues Festival you're playing now, I believe.
Alford, love Alford. Yeah, what a lovely festival. Yeah,
Yeah.
really looking forward to that.
Have you been there before? Because I'm planning on going this year, so I'd like to know a little bit about it.
Oh, go. No, 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 you must go. Alford's great. We've played it a couple of times,
Mm,
and it's just it's really, really nicely run, great setup, and fantastic bands, you know,
yeah.
all weekend. So yeah, I mean, if you're thinking of going, then I would absolutely suggest you take that leap.
Okay. Okay. Well, I won't hold you up any longer. We've been here talking for about half an hour now. So the new album is out next Friday, the 23rd. It is
Yeah.
called A Shadow on the Hill, and it's available digitally everywhere and from your website, I believe.
That's right, Adam, www.adamnorsworthy.co.uk, where I'm signing copies and selling signed copies from there. But yes, all the usual places, Apple, iTunes, you know, for digital copies. Yeah,
Excellent. Adam, it's always a pleasure. Wish you the very best with the new
lovely.
album and the book, and hopefully we'll catch up again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for your time. Brilliant. Thank
No
you.
worries.
Uh,